Okay, so thank you guys so much for being on this morning. I know 7 a.m. can be a little early for some people on a Saturday, but I have loved just getting to start my weekends off this way with you guys and see your all's faces. So before we get started, I want to shout out a couple of gals. So I'm going to actually share my screen so you guys can see this also. And I will share this in Spirit and Spunk Tribe on Monday also, but a couple of people I want to recognize before we fully get started. Okay, so wanted to share with you guys kind of our leaderboard. This was updated as of yesterday. So wanted to shout out Morgan and Paige and Elena and Kelly and Lauren, who are all at Success Club 10, have helped, it looks like 5 to 7. Oh my gosh, so cool, so cool. And then also wanted to shout out Courtney and Adriana and Belinda, Kelly, and Kelly is a brand new coach also. So wanted to shout out her. Jenna, Shelby, Claire, Erin, Allie, Whitney, and Jamie. And I know Jamie is a brand new coach also. And there's a couple of new names, like I think Whitney and Jenna, maybe even Claire, I haven't seen in Success Club yet. So if I'm saying that incorrectly, I'm sorry, but I'm so stinking proud of you girls because there's a lot of newer names of girls helping others. And then we have a ton of you guys who have helped. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at this. This is not fully updated now that I'm looking at it again. I think this was from last week's. So let me see if I have the wrong one. Hold on one second. I don't have the wrong one. Okay. Forget that I said that. I don't think that's fully updated because I know there were some other people on that list that are not on there. So I will share the actual one on Monday within Spirit and Spunk Tribe. But what I want to do today is just kind of hit on the tracker that I've been using. I want to encourage you guys to use this. And the reason why I have really drawn to this one versus any other tracker is just the main fact of it being so simple. So it is the bare bones of moving your business forward. So other ones talk about get your workout in, drink your Shakeology, do your personal development. And while those things are super important, and if you're not doing those things, these other activities don't even make sense at all. These are basically like moving your business forward type actions. So what we're going to talk about today is literally like the bare bones to actually move your business forward. So if you are not doing the things on this, you cannot expect to help other women, okay? If you're not doing all of these activities each day, then there's essentially you are a discount coach. You're not working a business, you're not growing your business and those types of things. So that's, I think, why I like this is because it's very business minded and not that our health and fitness is not a part of our coaching and part of our business. But I find that a lot of coaches get really comfortable there and they're doing the work on their self part. And that is great. That's where you start. That's where, you know, all of your days should probably begin working on yourself first. But if you want to grow a business, if you want to help other women, these are the activities that you just have to be doing. Okay, so I left my screen up here because I want to show how you can find this tracker if you like it, if you're drawn towards it. There's like 5,000 different coach trackers. They all say the same thing. You just got to find one that works for you and that makes sense for you. So in Spirit and Spunk Tribe, if you go to where it says files. So if you see over here on the side, it says files. I think on your phone, the files is going to be like on top, right below the actual cover photo. But if you click on photos, and then if you click on where it says genuine connections, there's a PDF and you can print off this PDF. And here's what it looks like. Here I have it blown up a little bit. So I'm going to go through this really quick and then we're going to dig into it even more. So up top, you have your name, the week of, and then it says SP's name. SP is short for success partner. If you have not yet found a success partner, I'm going to talk about success partners for new coaches first here in a little bit. But right now, if you've been coaching for 2, 3, 4 or more months, you need to really work on trying to find a success partner. This is nothing more than just a person that is going to be your business accountability partner. Okay? Let me say that again. They are your business accountability partner. They are not someone that you go and complain to. They're not someone that you talk about, oh my gosh, like, everybody is saying no to me. Oh, everybody's saying no to me too. Like, it's not like a pity party partner. It is literally a success partner. Okay, so you go to them and you turn in your tracker. You challenge each other. You say, hey, this is working for me. Is this working for you? Or you say, hey, this isn't working for me. You want to take a look at my invite? Or, hey, I have this post idea. You want to help me with it? So it's literally someone that you're going to work with and create a positive relationship with, not someone that you are going to complain or talk about everything that's going wrong. If it's getting to a negative place where all you talk about are the negatives, you need to get out of that relationship and you need to move on, okay? I like to think of a success partner as like a dating relationship. Essentially, like, you can date someone for a couple of dates and then decide, oh, this isn't working for me. And you can nicely say, hey, not so sure if this is going to work, like, or you talk about your expectations up front. You say, hey, here's what I'm looking for. Is this what you're looking for too? Or maybe this person is not showing up as much as you want to be showing up. So maybe you guys decide we're going to do this tracker for a week. And they maybe turn it in, they show it to you one day, but then they don't do it the rest of the week. Okay, that's not a good fit for you. Okay, so you need to find someone who's at your same level, kind of, and then also someone who has the same goals as you. If you're like, I want to be diamond before we go to summit, and your partner's like, oh, maybe you want to be emerald by the time we go to summit. Well, trying to get 2 coaches versus getting 8 coaches are night and day difference. Okay, so you need to find someone who has the same work ethic as you, who has the same goals as you. You can have different personalities, okay? And I actually highly encourage you to have different personalities, but you've got to have the same goals and that type of stuff. If you are brand new, if this is your second month, essentially your success partner right now is probably going to be your mentor coach. You need to be going to your mentor coach, not another new coach, to be asking all of these questions. The most successful coaches on my team, my personal coaches, were messaging me every single day. And I didn't care about that. I loved it. I knew that they were working. I knew they were trying. I knew they were challenging themselves. Okay. So I look at like some of the coaches on our team that are growing teams of their own and seeing lots of success and helping lots of women every month. Essentially, I was their success partner for the first month and a half, 2 months, until they felt really comfortable, and then maybe they partnered up with someone else. Okay, so over here are stats, just the number of Success Club points, how many people did you help that week, the number of new coaches, how many new coaches did you get started, and the number of new followers. Let me say, I will never fill out the number of new followers. I do not put emphasis on my social media. I don't really care if it grows. I care if it grows only if it grows at the rate that I'm helping new people also, okay? Most of you guys, because I've been coaching longer than you all have, most of you all still have lots and lots of women in your everyday lives that you work with, that you go to church with, that you meet at the grocery store, wherever it might be. You guys, a discount coach, I signed up last night. I met while I was out with Rhett at a little fall event this fall. You guys, there are people in your real lives. Okay, so I know everybody wants to know, how do I grow my following? How do I do this? That's great and all, but essentially, do these activities and your following will grow is what I'm trying to say. There's not like some secret to it. It's literally just do it. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox about growing a following and all that stuff. It has never been a focus of mine, and I've hit Success Club for coming up on 5 years straight every single month this May or this June. Okay, so, and I have never ever worried about, oh my gosh, I've got to get more followers. Okay, so with that being said, this tracker goes Sunday through Saturday. I love that because in my mind, my week starts on Sunday, not on Thursday. And a lot of the other Beachbody coach or trackers start on Thursday. But this one goes Sunday through Saturday. You can see that up top. I changed up one a little bit because I think that making connections and building relationships is super important. So I put 15 connections a day. That'll get you more than 100 connections in a week if you do 15 in a day. If you look at my tracker, it is not perfect. I didn't even fill in on Tuesdays. I'm still working on it. On Wednesday, I got in 5 connections, okay? So a semi-done tracker is better than not doing any of the activities at all, okay? So connections, we'll dig into that a little bit more. And then going into invites, you have got to send a direct invite. I would not have joined Beachbody. I would not have joined my coach if she did not send me an invite. I am not someone who would go to her because of a post she made, okay? So keep that in your mind. If I want a Megan on my team, I need to invite her because I'm not someone who's gonna go to people. Okay, your social media post, I recommend posting 1 time a day at minimum. My goal is always 1 a day. On here, I added in kind of the topic that you can post about. I followed Courtney Hardin's. It's helped me out so much of doing 1 day of coaching, 1 day of personal, 1 day of health. 1 day of coaching, 1 day of personal, 1 day of health, coaching, and you just rotate through those 3. If I do 2 posts in 1 day, typically what I do is I just get off track and I might do a personal and health on Tuesday. So then Wednesday I do a coaching and so on. And then Instagram stories, visitor. These are just recommendations of things that you can do each day. We'll dig into that more. Check in with your success partner. And then turn in your tracker. And there's more information coming on where you can turn in your tracker. Right now, it could be turning it into your mentor coach. Okay, so let's start up at the top, and I'm going to stop sharing. If you guys want to see this while we're going through it, you can go ahead and go into Spirit and Spunk and open it up for yourself. But what I want us to do is kind of dig into this a little bit. I have a couple of girls that are going to share, but I want to start with connections. What I do personally is I go to the people who watch my stories. Right now, my connection, I am trying to connect with my followers already. Okay? Once again, I'm not out there zooming, trying to find new people to follow me all the time. My connections are with my tribe that shows up and watches me every single day because they already know me. They already know what I'm doing. And what I do is I go and I zoom down there. And if they have a story, I click on their story and I comment something on their story. If it is a dog, if it is their child, if it is a quote, whatever it is, I make a comment on what they are putting out there. I want to connect with them. Okay. And so for me, connections are not invites. That's just how I've been doing it and I've been enjoying it. It fills up your inbox though. So you're going to have lots of conversations going. So you have to manage your time and say, okay, maybe I won't directly respond to all of these connections right away. I'll go on to the next activity. Okay. So, Shelby, I think Shelby was going to share a little bit about, connections and kind of how she's been doing it. So if you want to hop on. Oh, hi, Haley. I saw.
Yeah, so I, when I'm like connecting with new people or like we're doing 100 like invite challenge, but that includes like connections as well. And so when I'm doing 100, I do about like 60 to 70 of just straight like connecting with people. So I'll go to either like an author or like a blogger or like maybe a musician or like a speaker that I really like Christine Kane or like Lisa Tricur, something like that, and I'll go to one of their pictures, and then once I look at, I'm like going through their likes sorry, I'm going through like their likes, and if I see people that have like the little circle around their picture that they have a story, I go to their page, and then if I feel like we'd totally be friends in real life, then I connect with them on their page. If I don't, I leave. But so then once I stay there, then I like the last like 5 to 10 pictures to kind of like get their attention, and then I will click on their story, and if they have something on their story that I would normally like interact with, then I interact with that. And a lot of times, even if like they don't follow me right away, then it at least sparks a conversation. And if that conversation is like somewhat like actual genuine conversation, then I normally switch over to voice messaging within the like second or third message. And I feel like almost every single time after that, then like we're totally Instagram friends, like without a doubt. And so that's like the biggest way I connect. But then, as you were saying, Megan, I do a lot of connecting like with people that like watch my stories of just random stuff, like not even having to do with like coaching or Beachbody or working out or anything. So that's like mainly where I find the people, and then how I like continue that. Then I'll go back. So like I make a list in my planner of who I connect with on what day, and then I'll go back, and if I haven't connected with them again, then I make sure like I do that again, so that then they're kind of like, oh, it wasn't just like a one-time thing and then she's out of here. So yeah.
I love that. And you guys, Shelby just hit diamond. So that is awesome. Way to go. Okay, so tell me really quick again, because I feel like I was zoning out. I wrote down like you watch stories from likes of other, kind of people that you connect with already. Maybe it's an author, a blogger, podcast. You follow them. What were the other steps that you kind of do? Like some posts?
Yeah, so I actually don't follow them until we have like a solid conversation, or if they follow me, because then I get super overwhelmed with like all the people that are up at the top. So yeah, and so then I'll like a bunch of their pictures, and then or maybe comment on them, and then I interact with their story almost like every single time. Like I don't even write it down as a connection unless I do that. And then Paige wanted me to say, like, tell about the shrimp girl. So this girl that I literally like, she posted about like shrimp. Her and her husband had grilled or something, and it looked so good. And so I was just like talking to her about that, and then like she decided to coach, and she's freaking like, she decided 2 weeks ago, and she's already like started a free group and everything, and she's like, yeah, she's killing it. So I refer to her in our team cup, we call her the shrimp girl. And so anyways, yeah, that was just like so awesome. And that's like the second time that that's happened. So even if like they don't want to coach, like I've had girls that still just like want to work out with us. So yeah, it's awesome.
I love it. Okay, so by interacting with their stories, what are you doing when you're interacting with their stories?
I definitely like type something out. I don't just like swipe up and hit like heart eyes. So like literally on hers, so I was like, oh my gosh, so it looks so good. You're making me so hungry right now. Or like a lot of times it'll be something faith related. And so I'll put like, I love that so much, or like I'm into that, or something along those lines. So definitely at least like typing something out. Or like I'm talking to a girl right now who she posted on her story. One of her cabinet doors had literally just like, she pulled it out and it fell off, like literally just fell off. And that happened to us in college one time in our janky dorms. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm not the only person that that's happened to. And so we're like swapping ridiculous stories right now. So
I love it. It seems so real and genuine. And that's the whole point behind connections, is just like something that's like real that you can relate to. Like I find often with my connections, I'm like, oh, I think people that are following are not my people, because I'm like, I don't connect with anything you guys are putting on your stories. And that's like a sign of maybe I need to try what you're doing, also to go find those people. Elena asked about tracking. So tell me again when you write down the names of people of these connections.
So I have like, this is my style of a business activity tracker. I don't know if you can see it, but I have one column of connections, one of invites to coaching, and one of invites to accountability groups. So I try to do, on average, I'm not very good about every single day I do this number, but I try to do 100 total in a week. since we've like started our Diamond Push group. And I would say about 60 to 70 of those are just straight connections, and then the rest are invites. I do I do that each day, so I can go back and look, okay, I know this date I reached out to this girl for the first time, or I know like I invited her to coaching this time, or whatever that is.
So would you say, like, when you interact with their story, that's who you write down? You don't write down every single person that you go to their social media and you're like liking
Correct.
their photos. You have to like type out something, right?
Right. Yes. And then if we're like having a good conversation, I'll go back and I'll just like star it, because then I know like, okay, we actually had a legit conversation. She didn't just like ghost me or just like it or whatever.
Obsessed with your tracker because it's so simple. It's literally just like names of people, got it done, did my activities for the day, you know, like that's so cool. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to have Morgan share a little bit. Morgan is like our top leader this month. Pretty sure one of the top leaders last month, also with helping new women get started on their fitness journey. So Morgan, why don't you share a little bit about what you were telling me about last night?
Yeah, so my process is very similar to Shelby's. I also one of my things is I like to look at local photographers as well. That's another thing other than like bloggers or people that you're listening to for professional development, or a lot of faith-based people who I've been looking at, because that's my niche as well. Shelby and I actually came across like the same person on accident. Both were talking to her, but it's all good because she's super cool. We're like, we just want her on the team. We don't care. It's fine. But that's kind of my process as well. And then another thing that we've been doing is, for me, because when I first started, I was following people and my feed is filled with a bunch of people that I'm like, what in the world? I don't know if I necessarily vibe with them. So I've been going back through the people I'm following and connecting with their page, but then if I don't relate with them, I unfollow them. So like I kind of like their stuff just to see if anything sparks anything. But then if I'm like, I've been unfollowing people just because I have way too many, and I was following almost more than I had following me, which my following's been growing, but so of my followers have been growing, but so have my following, I guess, if that makes sense. So that's been kind of helpful for me, just to feel like I'm getting more people in my feed who I want there and I can interact with if I do intentionally scroll. But then when it comes to messaging, that's kind of what I was going to touch on. I think someone had asked this in the question box, but how do you kind of transition that conversation? If I'm in Shelby's situation with my initial send in the connection and just kind of talking to people in that fun way, I am kind of, if someone asks about me, or if someone asks about, what I do or anything like that, then I can slide in something about being a health coach, or slide in something about my health journey. Like, oh my gosh, I've lost 40 pounds doing at-home workouts, or, just different things depending on the conversation, bringing it back to what we do in some way, shape, or form, whether it's not liking salad, not liking vegetables. That's something like, oh my gosh, totally can relate. I used to never eat and now I found a way to. And then sometimes we'll be like, oh, how? Something that kind of, you almost set them up. It's kind of like you're playing catch or baseball with your dad, and like he'll throw you soft tosses, and then you hit them. You're kind of throwing up a soft toss for someone to ask you a question that you can knock out of the park, I guess, is the best way I can think of that. But sometimes I type a question and I'm just like, oh man, I hope they get it. I hope they ask the question that I'm, kind of setting them up for, so that way I can really meet their need. And then if they don't, then that means that's probably not something that they're looking for, and I need to find a different way that I can help them. That's kind of one thing. And then for my initial, if they do come back to my stories and they watch my stories and I'm doing that follow-up, I guess that message my go-to has just been, are you on a health and fitness journey too? Like, hey, thank you. I say thank you. So, hey, I always say their name. Thank you so much for checking out my stories and my crazy life. Like I usually do like the crazy face emoji, like, and then I say, yeah, thank you for following my crazy life. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? Because clearly, if you can see on my page, or I'm usually talking about some way, shape, or form, or especially if it's my workouts, that's what I say. If I've seen they've watched more than one workout clip, I usually try to just post 2 to 3 if I don't just do my like little mashup one. So I'll say that, and then it usually sparks a conversation. I've had some from no, I need to. I feel like if they answer honestly and they're saying no, I need to do that, or I haven't done that for a while, they're obviously seeking something. Because if they're ready to be that open and honest, then they're going to reply with that. If not, they'll probably ghost you and you'll need to follow up another time, and that's fine. I had one of the girls I signed up as a coach this month. I've been following up with, she's been following me for over a year and a half. And I've consistently followed up with her because she's always watching my stories. And we've had great conversations, and she has gotten to the point of wanting to start, and then she wouldn't start. I know that can be so frustrating sometimes, but now she's ready to start and possibly help others as well. So I'm really excited that, you know, that consistency of following up with people, even, and I don't care how many times, if that makes sense, you see someone, you're connecting with them and they don't reply. I don't let that discourage me. If they are still watching me, if they are still liking my stuff, I follow up with them again, because clearly they are tuning into my life and I'm just trying to have a conversation. So I don't let that deter me from following up again. I know originally I was like, is that weird? I don't think it's weird. They're watching you. They know, they see what you're doing. You talk about, especially if you're talking about what you're doing, I don't think it's weird at all. So that's kind of what I guess my process is for messaging.
I love that. If you guys were on the call that Courtney Harden hosted on Wednesday, she talked about just like, I will follow people. I will follow them up until they're dead or they tell me to leave them alone. And I love that, Morgan, because you're so right. Like if they keep coming back, watching what you're doing, they're looking for something. Like they're looking for something. It takes effort to go watch someone's stories. It does, because there's many of you guys that I don't watch your stories just because I have other things going on, and I'd love to. I would love to sit and comment on every single one of your all stories every single day, but I don't. And I don't watch a lot of them because I don't have the time. So these people are taking time out of their day. And if they're watching all of your stories, holy macaroni, they are spending some time with you every single day. Maybe right now is not the right time, but when Morgan hits them next month, maybe they'll be ready. So that's so cool.
One of the coolest things also I've noticed is some of the things that I've said in my stories, maybe no one's replied to right away, like, or my posts, like I did a post about time, about like, you have time, like girlfriend, I get you, I'm busy. Literally, you make time for the things that are important. I've had multiple people in my conversations refer back to my old posts or my old stories that I've talked about, which I'm like, they're listening, even if they don't reply. So I thought that was kind of cool too. So people are listening, even if they don't reply right away. Just know if they're watching you, if they're liking your posts, they're definitely in tune with what you got going on.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And always remember, I was never someone who would have reached out to my coach. Never. I know I wouldn't have. It's just not my personality to do that. So Haley, you want to share a few tidbits also, and then we'll kind of shift off of invite and connections.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if my headphones will come off. So you don't have to hear my treadmill noise. So for me, I guess I was going to say, keep it simple. Like when I started the 100 connections, I truly thought they had to be all invites. So the first 50 I did was inviting, and I guess what was Shelby actually I reached out to. She was like, I'm done with my 100. And I was like, how in the F are you done with your 100? And she was like, well, I'm just building connections. And I was like, oh my God, I did 50 straight invites. And so for me, I just went to people and I literally just invited them and said, hey, I'm starting this group. I would love to have you. And I did get ghosted a lot. So I think it just depends on your approach on how you want to talk to people. But I had a lot of people who were watching my stories that's what I invited to, and they did respond back. And a lot of them said no. But what I did is I would say, thank you so much for responding. Like, I super appreciate you responding to me. You are always welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want a free sample workout, let me know. So now I have conversations with those people from 3 weeks ago that are still going on. So they haven't said yes yet. But because I did the direct invite and then I thanked them for responding, and just told them how much I appreciated them even responding to me, now I have conversations going with them and I'm making connections almost on the back end. And so that was really interesting the first time I did 100, because I feel like that's where I am having most of my conversations from right now. And I honestly, if you guys are scared of inviting, because I was, you have to do that. Like literally make yourself send out 50 invites, because you get to this point where if that's a non-negotiable, you aren't scared anymore because you have to get those invites done. So you just do it. You just send the invite and you push send, and then that's it. And so that really got me over the hump of even having conversations and even inviting in the first place. And then my only second thing that I have, I reached out to, we're doing a Diamond Push group, and I reached out to one of the coaches, and she was telling me how simple it can be to make connections. So go follow. She was like, "What do you like?" And I was like, "I don't know." She goes, "Well, you wear glasses, so go follow Zenny Optical, and then you can find people who are on Zenny Optical and ask them, 'Hey, I noticed you ordered glasses from Zenny Optical. Do you like them? I'm thinking about ordering from there. What's your opinion?' Because now you're opening the door for them to talk to you. And people love giving opinions. So if you ask them a question first, they're probably going to respond without ghosting you. The other one she talked about is like, if you eat Kodiak cakes or Kodiak muffins, go like that page and find connections through there. Find connections through the people who have your same dry shampoo. I was wearing a headband that day. So she was like, go follow the hashtag workout headbands, and then go comment to people. Like I commented to 5 people just the other day and said, "Hey, I noticed you follow this headband company. I'm thinking about ordering from them. Are their headbands tight?" Like I'm asking them, which is opening the door. And then I say, "I really want them for my workouts. I don't know if you watch my stories, but I really don't want them sliding off my head when I'm sweaty." And then that opens the door to those conversations that I'm having right now. So it doesn't always have to be like celebrities or podcasters. I feel like when you follow some of them people, especially the personal development, a lot of those people are already doing side hustles. So they want to connect to you because they want to sell to you. They don't want to buy what you are selling. So if you can find other ways to like connect with people, or like another one she had told me for me was following your hair color. Okay, so follow the hashtag for me, blonde bombshell. Okay, someone who posts about being blonde, be like, "Oh my God, I'm blonde too. I love it." And then you just have a connection. And so it's super simple. And I think that has changed a lot for me this week as far as starting conversations, because I'm not thinking so much about it. And I think that's kind of like Shelby's conversation starters, like connecting over shrimp. You don't have to think about it so much. So yeah, those are my 2 things. Just if you are scared to invite, crush out 100, crush out 50 invites right off the bat, because it will let you not be scared anymore.
I love this. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is something new that you 3 and others on your all's team have been doing. And I'm going to assume, correct me if I'm wrong, that one of the reasons why you've been doing it is because you've been turning in your tracker, turning in your list of names, whatever you want to call it. But essentially you're holding each other accountable. You have accountability pod partners, whatever it is that you have for these connections. And that's why you feel pulled to do it. Obviously, there's more reasons you want to help people, all these bigger reasons why you have to have those. But you also are saying, hey, we're doing this together, so we're going to get this done. And you're holding each other accountable, correct?
Yeah, and actually we started a 5 a.m. thing back in October, I'm pretty sure it was. And I think I hit Success Club 2 maybe in October, but every single person that I signed, that I hit Success Club 12 in January, every single person was from October or the beginning of November. So like doing the work then has helped now, and like being consistent in it. So like that's something we've really tried to instill in new coaches too when we do a new coach mentorship, like doing that now. Because I mean, like if I would have started that then, I could have possibly like hit diamond sooner, so. But definitely like the accountability has like really helped, especially with like our diamond push.
Yeah, I love it.
Half of my Success Club points have been follow-ups. from obviously like a year or a couple months, and then half of them were from newer connections that probably were from in the last month. So I thought that was cool. It's been kind of a good mix of follow-ups and then people who have recently followed me who, because I connected and because I reached out to them consistently, which has been the key for me, because for the longest time I was just like you were talking in the beginning, Meg, I was just doing like the fitness side. I was just sharing for but that was my focus. My focus was my fitness, and that's what I did. But if that's all you're doing, you're not going to grow and you're not going to see success like you want to. So that's, I guess, just to reiterate that point, that you have to message people. You have to, because just showing up fitness wise, you're not going to get people.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I don't know if you guys listened to National Wake Up Call this week. It was phenomenal. But she talked about, and I've fallen into this trap so many times, because I love social media. I love posting. That could be my job, being, whatever it is, a marketing person for social media. Luckily, I get to do it for myself. But she talked about how, like, this 80-20 rule, that 80% of your work time, your coach work time, needs to be conversations, inboxing, growing, inviting, that type of thing. And 20% needs to be posting on social media, invites, that type of thing, or posting on social media stories, that she had it flipped, and she had to flip it back. And it's so cool to hear that, someone who has this massive, massive following, who is a top 10 coach, who did that call on Monday. You assume that, people just flow to her. Well, no, she's still doing the basic stuff that we're doing, you guys. Like, she still is 80% of her time on conversations and 20% only on social media. People are not just flowing in her inbox. So I think that's so cool, for sure. And, like, you get to meet some of the coolest people. Like, I wouldn't know you guys. Like, I would not know you all. I think that's really cool. With that being said, let's spend about like 5-10 minutes or so wrapping up talking about social media, because we have covered this part of the tracker, and then there is social media. And these girls that just talked, they are showing up on their social media. So you have to have this like private part of conversations and this public part of conversations, because they are getting to invite because they're showing up. They are building trust publicly because they're showing up on their social media. So I recommend a daily post. We already talked about rotating through coach, health, personal, what that means. Coaching, I have always gone back, and I'll post this in I'll post this in Spirit and Spunk Tribe. This is what got me started. These 5 questions, my Beachbody mentor 4 years ago or so I was like, I don't know what to post about coaching. I'm so scared to post about it. And she was like, answer these 5 questions, rotate through these 5 questions. When you want to post about coaching, take one of those and make a post based off it. You don't have to write these down, but I'm going to say real quick. Number 1, why did you decide to become a coach? You guys, I have about 5 different reasons of why I decided to become a coach. Those 5 reasons can each be a post. There's 5 posts all about coaching, all about why I became a coach. Maybe 1 month, that's all you talk about. 5 different posts about why you became a coach. Number 2, what has coaching done for you? You guys, I could come up with probably 20 to 30 post ideas of what coaching has done to my life, personally, financially, physically, mentally, like, take all of the alleys you can do, and has coaching affected that part of your life, and make a post about it. I'm not going to list out all the ways that coaching has changed my life, but one way can be a post idea, and another way it's changed could be a post idea. And, turning those into stories of where I used to be versus where I am now because of coaching is so powerful. Take those ideas and turn them into stories, moments where you remembered being terrified to talk to other people, and because of coaching, you are now fearless and confident, whatever it might be. Number 3, what do you see coaching doing for your future? This is the number 1 thing that you guys are probably not posting about, and you need to be posting about. What is coaching going to do for your future? I know it's terrifying because you're not there yet. It hasn't happened in your life yet. I told you guys I got to do a KRC interview yesterday, or a local TV show interview yesterday. It was about mom guilt. It had nothing to do with coaching at all. But you know what the girl wanted to videotape? She wanted to videotape my vision board. How freaking cool is that? Like, I love that. Women are not creating vision boards, you guys. Most women are not creating vision boards. But because I'm talking about being a mom and overcoming mom guilt and loving this passion that I have, I get to talk about coaching. I get to inspire women to dream and make visions for their future and create the life that they want to create. You guys, that is so cool. So it's like coaching just trickles into every part of my life, whether I want it to or not. So what's coaching going to do for your future? Is it going to give you more Target trips? Is it going to allow you to get your hair done every 8 weeks instead of every 12 weeks? Is it going to create a dream home that we're about to start in 2 freaking weeks on 5 acres of land? Like, what is it doing for your future? Put it out there. There's so many things. I didn't post about this. I wish I would have. I, years ago, had this vision that I wanted to be in a magazine article, a local magazine. I just wanted to have one fitness article in a magazine article. And you guys, I now get to write a monthly article. I got asked the other day to be on the cover of the magazine. I get to do a cover shoot, you know, what will I be, 26 weeks pregnant, showing powerful pregnancies and how women can still be strong and powerful during pregnancy. And if I had not put that vision out there and thought it years ago, it maybe wouldn't have happened. And that's just start talking about your vision for your future. Start doing it. That's a post idea. Sorry, I'm getting a little wound up right now. I love posting about coaching. I love it. And once you start doing it, you'll love it too. Okay, number 4, your favorite parts of coaching. What do you love? Do you love Saturday morning chats where you spend an hour with other women because you're with kids every single day, every single hour? Do you love being around other women who are doing things, making changes in their lives? Because for me, while I was teaching, it was all about negativity, and this is focused on solutions and positivity. What are your favorite parts about coaching? Share about it, whatever it is for you. And then number 5, what made you nervous about coaching before you started? I started this morning. I don't know where it went to because I always have papers everywhere. I started a list of coaching objections, and these are going to be post ideas. So number 1, I'm not an outgoing person. I don't know if I can put myself out there. That's going to be a post that you guys are going to be seeing here recently. It wasn't one of my things that made me nervous, although you should talk about things that made you nervous and apprehensions. I see Liz is on here. Liz, brand new coach. I don't even think she's been coaching for a full year. Made a post about apprehensions that her husband had and how they've overcome those just in 3 weeks of coaching. Okay, you guys, that is huge. So what made you nervous about coaching before you started? Because what made you nervous, other people are nervous about. And if you talk about there instead of making it all secretive, it'll be so much better. Okay, most of you all are excellent about this. The second thing in your rotation should be health. Don't forget about your story though. Where were you? Where are you now? Where were you? Where are you now? Where were you? Where are you now? All the different areas of your life. What are the day-to-day struggles in your health and fitness? Talk about food. People love recipes, but don't only post recipes, you guys. You are so much more than taking recipes and posting recipes. What are some things with fitness you could post about? Mental, promote your groups, those types of things, okay? I'm not gonna go into health too much. And then the last thing, I did a video in Spirit and Spunk yesterday, talk about your personal. You guys, you've got to talk about the other things in your life rather than coaching and health and fitness. You are someone different. I always think about what kind of life phase am I in right now? And what do you love? Courtney Lubring and I were talking yesterday about how everybody wants to know about her daughter's clothing, where she got her daughter's clothing. She's got a newborn who is, I think, 12 weeks old, 13 weeks old, something like that. And she has got this girl dressed to the T. If you follow her, that little girl is dressed to the T all the time. I would never talk about where I got Rhett's clothes because they're all hand-me-downs. So I'd be like, I don't know where they came from. They came from this person. that is not something I would post about, but that is Courtney's like total niche. She always has the bows, the outfits matching like all the time. And I was like, you need to do an IG story of like the cutest clothes that you get from Old Navy, or, you know, the cutest clothes you find on Amazon or whatever it might be, and how to find deals, because I know she's also into saving money. So think about my life phase. Right now, I am talking about sleep training. I am talking about toddler life. I am talking about, always talking about marriage. That's a huge thing that people love hearing about. And then what are things that you love? You know, if you were on Wednesday night's call, she talked about pizza and something else. I don't remember what it was. So just don't overthink it. What are things that you love? Huge parts of your life. Okay. I think that's all about there. Let's talk real quick about stories. I love this tracker because it goes through the flow of your day. So they talk about daily life, workout clips, product use, daily life. It just reminds you to add more than just your workouts and Shakeology or whatever it might be. So for workout clips, make sure that you're adding to your workout clips though. Don't just show you working out and that's it. Maybe add some kind of text value, you know, something that's going on in your mind while you're working out, you know, so have a little clip and be like, I was thinking this. And then the next clip is maybe, but I changed my mindset to start thinking this, you know, maybe you were thinking negative thoughts while you were working out. I'm so weak, I'm da 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 da. And then I changed my mindset to this. So always add some kind of value when you are posting these things. Keep it real short and simple. People don't read lots of really long text though on stories. Share struggles. My challengers tell me their favorite thing about watching me, because we're all doing bar blend right now, their favorite thing is to see me fall. And I'm totally okay with that. But they are falling, so they want to see me fall too. They want to see that their coach is real. So share those struggles, share the thoughts that you have during your workout clips. Product use. Don't just share a picture of your Shakeology or a picture of Energize or a picture of, you know, a beach bar or something like that. How is it affecting your life? How is it helping your day-to-day life? You know, like really think about how does this fit into your life? One of my favorite books, if you need a good book for talking to women, Why Women Buy is one of my favorites. I always reference it because she talks about she's not going to buy anything unless she can picture it in her life. So if you're talking about product, think about how do I use this in my life, and how can someone else, another woman who's in the same life situation as me, use this in their life, you know? So for sure, talking about those things. It has on here doing a group call to action polls. That's usually where my invites come from, is polls. Even if they accidentally tap the poll, I don't even care. I still want to invite them. I'm going to assume that they want the information. So I usually structure it. My first 2 weeks of the month are challenge groups. My last 2 weeks are coach information or mentorship, what I am doing my polls or my calls to action for on my stories. There's several different ways that you can promote a group, you know, on your stories. I get the most interaction on stories versus post when it comes to promoting a group or promoting coaching or those types of things. So maybe break down the components of a challenge group into little pieces. You know, maybe one day talk about accountability. Maybe one day talk about meal plans that you share. One day talk about the realness of the women in your group. Maybe one day talk about successes or results that your women are getting. So you can talk about groups every single day on your stories. You just need to talk about it in a different way every day. So think about, what are my favorite parts of a challenge group? Each day I'm going to talk about a different part, or I'm going to make some graphics based on that, or something like that. Think about, what did you need? What did you need before you joined an accountability group? Promote your group in that way, of that's what you're going to provide to other people. Get real, like use your real words. Like you guys weren't saying accountability. Most of you all were not saying, I need accountability to get my workouts in. Most of you all were saying, I need someone to tell me to show up and get my workout in, you know, like, so use the words that you would have used. Like I always think about, I loved going to the gym and having someone there, you know, but my problem was that other someone wouldn't show up all the time. So just saying how you would normally say it, or pay attention to what women are saying in your conversations. Use their words in your stories. Use their language. Share a story of one of your pain points, you know, that you had in the past. And then the last kind of little thing I want to hit on here is showing the hustle. This is something I struggle with because I just get to work and I forget to like share on my stories that I'm working because I'm so excited to just work and get it done, that just popping on and doing a couple stories of like, here's what I did today. You know, I always think of, she was Amy Rada, Amy Bailey now. She was always so good about talking about work. She was so good. Every single day, you knew what she was doing in her business. And a huge part of why women are not working coaches, are not coming to you or joining you, is because they don't know what you're doing. To them, you are, you know, maybe even you're talking about earning income, but they're like, okay, she's just making income, but I don't actually know how she's doing that. So take away that like veil that you have, this mystery behind coaching, and share what it is that you did. You know, share that you woke up at 6:30 to hop on a call with a bunch of women. Share that you know, just connected with a bunch of people that you're like, feel like are your best friends. You know, share what it is that you did. Because if people don't know, they won't be able to see how it fits into their life. And that's that's the number one thing. People are saying, can I see this coaching thing fitting into my life? Could I see myself doing what she does? But they're not going to even ask that question if they don't see what you're doing. Okay, and then checking with success partner. We've already talked about new coaches. Your success partner essentially should be your mentor coach, and then you should transition into finding other people. You guys, we have almost 500 people in Spirit and Spunk Tribe. Please do not tell me you cannot find a success partner out of there. I know you can, okay? You have teams that you're on. You can find someone that has the same goals and the same work ethic as you. What I would be doing if I want to be hitting Success Club is I would be looking at that board that is posted every single Monday, and I'd be finding someone on that board because I want a coach who is going to be showing up. I want someone who is doing something that is working to be my success partner. So if you're not on the Success Club board and you want a great success partner, there you go. Show up, and I guarantee other people will be asking about it. Okay. And then turning in the tracker, there is more information coming about that later on. Right now, it can be something that you turn into a success partner, turn into your mentor coach. I would love, y'all can send me your trackers every single day. I would love to have, how many people are on this call? 25 trackers in my inbox every single day. If you need me to be your accountability turn-in tracker, by golly, send it. I'll send a little heart emoji or something back to you every time you send it to me. Do not say, I can't do this because I don't have accountability. There are plenty of people here willing to say, way to go, way to go, okay? So I'm gonna see if there's any questions. I got a little hot and heated there at the end talking about coaching. Elena said, recommend using someone that's not in your same downline. So that might be, if you're on Elena's team, maybe find someone who is on Paige's team or something like that. And don't assume after the first couple, 2 or 3 months, that your mentor coach is going to be your success partner, because they're at a different level. You know, like I am doing, it would be crazy for me to be success partners with someone who's just starting out. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Yeah, Allie said she did an IGTV with her husband and his thoughts about Beachbody and coaching. I watched that video. I don't watch a whole lot of videos, but I watched that video because I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I loved it. I loved it. I love seeing these successes you guys posted in the little comments. Y'all crack me up. Sounds like a lot of success going to local photographers' pages and making connections from there. That's such a cool idea. I've never thought of that. Okay.
Hey, can I just ask like a quick, like literally physically how you guys do this? So like on Instagram, on like whenever you're trying to find like a page that you like or whatever, and you're trying to find followers, like whenever I go to, or I guess more on Facebook, do you guys do it on Instagram or Facebook? Like whenever you're trying to find like a page, like a local photographer or something like that, are you going to Facebook or Instagram? That's probably the better place to start. Instagram. Okay. So like say I'm on Instagram and like I try to find like I don't know, a local photographer. Hold on, let me find one so I can see how you guys do this. So are you finding their page or a hashtag? An account?
Personally, I have a friend who's
Page.
local
Okay.
who I really like her. I really like her page. Like I know her, I personally know her. And sometimes you can find other photographers that are local that way too. So if you know of one in the area that's maybe a bigger one,
Okay.
there's probably other local photographers, or like for me, I do hashtag Omaha photography because I'm in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
Then you can find those, and then I would go to her account and see who's liking that first picture.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
You
So
like
I
the
think I was trying
vibe
to do
and
it
the
on
feel.
Facebook. Yeah, I was trying to do it on Facebook, and all it would show me out of all the people, like the thousands of people who like their Facebook page, all it would show me was my friends who liked their page. And I'm like, well, I've already invited all of those people or built connections with all those people.
Yeah.
So Instagram, I guess, is probably a better place to do it because there's probably more people and you can see the people that aren't already your friends or followers on there. So that makes sense. So thank you guys.
Great question, Hannah. I love that. Okay. All right. Real quick, Morgan, Shelby, I don't know if Haley's still on before we hop off. When do you guys do these connections?
My schedule's kind of crazy, and I know Shelby's is too. Thankfully, basketball is ending for me, but I don't do them like I don't do it every single day because that doesn't work for me. I 100% show up in my stories every single day. But I know for me, when I was sick, like that was tough. That was really tough for me because I realized, how far out of it I was. But I would just say I pick days. Like today, I planned ahead of time, and I look at my schedule in the week and see when I'm going to have time. But for me, I have practice Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. And so usually Thursday nights, I get something done. Friday mornings, Friday nights, before Grant gets home. And then on Saturday mornings after this team call, I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to work on my business. And then I usually like to do it a little bit Sunday afternoon as well, after church and everything. So I look at my schedule and I kind of pick those times. And I think the National Wake Up Call had a really good thing about the time. Didn't she talk about that? Was that where she talked about like the wheel of time or something, and where you're spending?
Yeah, it was the clock.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a good thing. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. But that might be a good thing for people to look at as well, on finding a good time for you.
I love it. Good. Thank you. Shelby?
Yeah, mine's the same. Like my schedule is not anything like it is a hot mess all the time. Like my weeks do not look the same. And so for me, I kind of like look at the beginning of the week, and something actually like my success partner like made a suggestion about that we're going to start doing is like on Sundays texting each other like, hey, these are 3 days I can for sure, or that I'm going to for sure like make those connections at this time or for 20 minutes or whatever. But something I will point out is like when I'm making those, so like a lot of times for me it's Tuesday, Thursdays, I have like a bigger gap in the day, in the middle of the day, but making sure that I'm going back on my stories and looking at the people that are watching my stories within the 24 hours after that, because random people that I make connections with will like watch my stories like when they're like, who the heck is this girl that's in my inbox? Like, so going back and looking at that, because then I don't necessarily go ahead and send them a message like, hey, thanks for following, you want to join me? But I just say like, hey, thanks for like watching my workout stories, like did you see me almost bust my butt, or like something just like random like that, because then it's like, okay, I like noticed you. But I literally just started doing that probably like in the last week and a half, because I noticed, I was like, who are these people? And then I was like, her name's like familiar, but I know she doesn't follow me because I've never seen her here before. So that's something I should have mentioned earlier, but yeah.
Okay, Haley.
Okay, so I actually just talked to Paige about this because my schedule is also very busy. I'm a teacher, and then I own a cheerleading gym on top of it, so I have really long days. So I last night sat down and started batching out my time. So like set timers, I have 10 minutes to send out 5 invites. So I'm giving myself 2 minutes to get it done. And then I guess for me, it's also the same with days. Like I was feeling like I had to do it every day, but I was burning myself out by that. So I really kind of do it in the morning. Like I'll try to send a couple in the morning or make connections in the morning while I'm drinking my Energize. And then like I know that Mondays, some Tuesdays, and Thursdays are just not going to happen for me. So then I focus on doing this business on like Wednesday nights and then the weekends. Weekends are huge for me.
I love it. I love it. And there's like no excuses. Like you have the time in your week, maybe not every single day. And that's okay. And that's all right. If you get in Sundays on Monday, then just go back and fill in Sundays. It doesn't matter that they didn't get done on Sunday. Like if you want to cross it out and write actually happened on Monday, if you're like type A like that, then go for it. But the thing is just do it and see it come to fruition, because it has for these ladies. That's why I asked them to talk, because they're seeing success. This has been a change that they've made that is producing them being able to help even more women each month. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording and hop off. I had a coach comment about, hey, can we stay on and, get out 30 minutes of connections and invites? Sure, I would love that. So I'm going to stay on. My boys went to breakfast, so I have 30 minutes. Going to stick around if you have questions or if you just want to work. I would love to send out some messages also. So if you need to go, I will talk to you guys later. And thanks for spending an hour on your Saturday with me. So see you guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.